It's a well-known fact that INFJs are one of the rarest personality types with very rich and unique minds. What's even less common are INFJ males. But do you actually know the telltale signs of INFJ males? In fact, INFJ men are defined as unicorns in the wild. They are that rare. Because of that, they often feel misunderstood. Not just because they're so uncommon, but also because they have specific personality traits that most people can't relate to. Today I'm talking about 9 things to look for to spot an INFJ male among other personality types. Make sure to watch until the end of this video. What I've discovered will be pretty eye-opening to both INFJs and those who aren't. I'm willing to bet that you know more INFJ men than you realize. Let's get into it. Welcome to Success for Breakfast, where I'm serving up brain food made simple. Hit that subscribe button to get the latest videos created to give you the tools to level up your life. Starting things off for me today is INFJ men are what you call a mama's boy. INFJs are known to be one of the more sensitive personality types. That certainly applies to INFJ males, and because of their sensitivity, they enjoy the unique nature of motherly love and affection. As a result, INFJ men frequently have a very close bond with their mothers. That's why they're commonly referred to as mama's boys. It's obvious that having a close relationship with your mother is advantageous, but due to their extreme sensitivity, they occasionally end up serving as their mother's emotional support system when things get tough. And let's be honest, children easily pick up on their parents' emotional states and characteristics. INFJs, in particular, have all the tools they need to become specialists in this area. As a result, when INFJ males attempt to care for their parents, the relationship dynamic is frequently skewed. Next up at number 8 is INFJ males are very organized. Another clear-cut sign of spotting an INFJ male is their desire to have everything around them in order. This comes from the judging part of their personality preference. People who have a preference for judging enjoy living in a planned, organized manner, attempting to regulate and manage their life. When you meet an INFJ male, you'll notice how immaculate and orderly their personal areas are. Everything has a home, and you'll always find it in the same spot. After all, it's where it belongs. INFJs in general, and especially INFJ men, are always daydreaming and have a lot of interesting thoughts running through their heads. As a result, their minds are quite disorganized, yet in order to make more space in their heads, they like their lives to be less chaotic and more structured. Inside an INFJ male's home, you'll most likely find an orderly desk, color-coordinated clothes in the closet, and an always made-up bed. The number 7 way to spot an INFJ male is their outfits are always well put together. Most men are not as concerned with their appearance as women are. They simply put on the first shirt and jeans they find and head out the door. That is another way to identify an INFJ male among other guys. An INFJ male always has a well put together outfit. Of course, I can't just tell you to look for a specific fashion style because, let's be honest, that's not going to work. Everyone has their own fashion sense. What you do want to pay attention to is how the men in your social groups dress. When it comes to an INFJ male, regardless of his fashion sense, his attire will always be coordinated, complete, and well matched. When it comes to clothing style, even the smallest things matter, and INFJs are notorious for paying close attention to even the slightest details. Their ingenuity can be observed in the way they put together their clothes and how they experiment with various styles. And this doesn't imply that they buy pricey or branded clothing. That's irrelevant to them. They simply prefer to invest in quality and look well dressed. Number 6 on my list today is INFJ men carefully plan out their days. INFJ males generally keep their personal surroundings orderly, but that's not all. They also enjoy keeping their days organized as well. They prefer to arrange everything down to the slightest detail. INFJs are recognized to be dreamers in general, but they don't simply dream. They also take actions to make their ambitions a reality. That's why they like to schedule their entire day with specified time slots so they don't squander any time. They also ensure that their work plans are as structured and efficient as possible. They want to categorize all of their tasks and manage their entire day as much as possible in order to fulfill their daily goals. Sometimes, the structuring takes so long that they become distracted from the actual execution of tasks. Yet INFJs nevertheless strive to achieve their goals. If you've gotten some value from this video so far, please show your appreciation by hitting that like button. That signals to YouTube that you think other people could benefit from this video too. Kicking off my top 5 is INFJ males are mostly night owls. INFJ males are incredibly innovative because of how well they categorize and organize things. And generally, it's a well-known truth that creatives are typically night owls, which also applies to INFJ males. They prefer to think and plan things out when they are quiet and comfortable, and the optimum time of day for them to do it is at night. They find the nighttime to be quite relaxing, and it's the best time for them to contemplate and plan. They also gain energy from their creative thinking, and as a result, because they're inspired by these ideas at night, they frequently have difficulty sleeping at all. Because of this, you'll find that INFJ males are frequently sleep deprived. Next up, and number 4, is INFJ men don't keep up with trends. You know how some people start to like something merely because it's trendy? Skinny jeans became popular and everyone began to wear them. Loose jeans are becoming more popular and everyone has moved on from skinny jeans. When it comes to INFJ men, these trends mean absolutely nothing to them. However, this doesn't imply that they dislike everything trendy. They may like the same things, not because they are trendy, but because they just simply like them. For example, there was a time when collecting vinyl records was popular. Many INFJ males probably did the same thing, but they did it before it was cool, and they'll keep on doing it when it's no longer cool. Their interests follow them even if they don't follow trends. However, they sometimes deliberately avoid basic trends. That's because they don't like following the herd. Instead, they prefer to genuinely enjoy things. They don't care if it fits, they don't care what other people think. If they believe something represents their personality, they will do it whether it's mainstream or not. Starting my top 3, INFJ males are amazing listeners. When speaking with an INFJ male, you will notice that they are excellent listeners. They will offer you the opportunity to speak and talk about yourself, and they will always listen to what you have to say. They will not simply listen to you in order to respond and continue the conversation. They are truly interested and want to learn more about you. When you interact with him, you'll notice how attentively he listens and nods to let you know he's paying attention. He'll also make an effort to maintain eye contact with you and understand everything you say. Even if you're an introverted person who rarely speaks, you'll feel at ease around him and be able to express yourself freely. What are your thoughts on these ways to spot INFJ men around you? What else should others be on the lookout for? Leave your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. In the runner-up spot today is INFJ men have great communication skills. Now, I just said that even if you're an introvert, you'll still pour your heart out to an INFJ. It's not entirely due to their exceptional listening skills. It's also because they have excellent communication skills and can always find a way to keep the conversation going. They always try to shift the conversation to a more serious topic in order to learn everything they can about you. You may begin by discussing your favorite music, but you will eventually end up discussing your dreams and passions in life. During conversations, an INFJ man will always make you expose your inner essence and make you feel understood. In fact, you might start telling him things you haven't even told your closest friends. And at the end, you'll realize that you talk so much that you actually know absolutely nothing about him. Topping my list, and the number 1 way to spot an INFJ male, is that they choose quality over quantity in terms of friends. Some people enjoy making friends with everyone they encounter. They aspire to be well-liked and well-known. INFJ males, on the other hand, are indifferent about them. They would rather have a great group of well-chosen friends than be highly popular. They will only choose trustworthy and real people as their best friends, and you'll see them hanging out with them instead of always trying to make new connections. So when you initially meet an INFJ male, it may take some time to create a solid bond, but trust me, once you're in, they won't let you go. You are in for the ride of a lifetime, and you can always count on them to have your back. Being an INFJ male or having an INFJ man in your life has incredible advantages. Having such a unique and rare personality, however, does come with its challenges. Because of their specific personality traits, an INFJ man's life can be more difficult than most. This video will give you a deep insight into the challenges INFJ men face on a daily basis and ways you can understand and overcome them.